Hi guys, Zach here with another Command & Conquer Red Alert video. In this game I'm playing a 2v2 match on the map Central Conflict Extreme. I'm starting in the top middle position playing as the Soviets. Now for those of you who don't know this map, it contains a lot of gems and ores. You can see from that, you can just see those gems appearing next to my barracks. And what the map, what it is there's a big lake in the middle of the map, which is why it's called Central Conflict Extreme. And around that lake, there's lots more of ore and gems. So what you need to do is you can use lots. You've got quite a good supply of ore and gems near the base at the start, but you will need to naturally migrate towards that middle position, because there's a lot of resources there. So it will be important that I do that. And you can either do that by either base crawling or building multiple MCVs, whichever you choose, both can work. And as you can see, I'm just sending some scouts out at the moment, and I'm going to be blocking all the main entry points into my base, just to make sure my enemies don't scout me. That means they won't know what I'm doing, and just gives me a bit of a tactical advantage, because you can see there's bridges there, and towards further to the right there's like a small little pass. So we're just trying to limit them seeing anything. And we've also got our own scout going out and hopefully be able to uncover some of the map for us. And you can see that's another little entrance point into my base. And you can see a little red infantry has got through Green's base, and I'm going to need to send an infantry to the back of my base just to stop that one from being able to scout me. I am going for 2 ore trucks at the start, so I'm going for a more economic focused start, which I think is a good idea probably on this map and with the players I'm playing against. I don't expect to see any rushes, and you can see he's got a whole platoon of troops going after that one red troop, who's going to there's a little gap up here into my base, and we'll be able to kill him there, so he won't be able to get any visibility on my base yet. And now we're going to go for our second ore refinery. We have built 2 war factories to start off with, since we are mining gems and ore, instead of just going for double war factory. And you can see we've actually got some eyes on Cyan's base. So we've got a bit of visibility there, so we can see sort of a little bit of what's going on at their side of the map. And you can see another red troop getting into Green's base. I think he needs to probably spread out his troops a little bit more around his base to kill any people doing some scouting. And now you can see I'm starting to get my heavy tank army out, and I'm going to be building a 3rd war factory. And now the 3rd war factory is really important because it just increases building speed, so I can build tanks more quickly. And I'm just having a look around, just make sure nothing's going on other parts of the map. Now, what you usually do when you build your 3rd war factory is you build 2 ore trucks. I'm just going to continue to build tanks for a little while though, because what you'll notice is that my ore reserves are really high at the moment, and I just want to use up some of that ore before I go for ore trucks, because I don't want to get caught out by the enemy either if they do decide to launch an early attack. And now you can see I'm building my service depot, and what that's going to allow me to do is to build MCVs, which I can deploy into construction yards, and that's probably the way I'm going to use to get to the middle of the map. But as you can see, Cyan are coming up from the right, and I think they're going to the top. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to surprise me. They don't know that I've seen them yet, and they're going to go right from the top and attack my base from there. And you can see that's where they come, but I was waiting for them, and now you can see them turning back. They weren't expecting me to be there. And you can see there's also that passage, which makes it a bit difficult with scouting, because you can see some of the tanks moved up there, and they've had a bad trade here. They've had a very bad start because you only funneled a few tanks in for the immediate attack. And when you're using tanks, you do really want them to be all grouped together. And you can see Green, my allies, coming in there, but Cyan didn't have enough to attack. And that's, we're in a decent position. We haven't lost anything, so we've probably killed, I would definitely say we've killed more tanks than we've lost there. And now I'm going to be building those 2 ore trucks, and I'm also going to build some MCVs. As I say, it's important to build MCVs so I can expand to the middle. Another important thing of building MCVs and construction yards is it increases your building speed and allows you to build up very, very quickly. And I'm just getting my radar dome now so I can see what's going on in the other parts of the map. Yeah, and we can see Cyan's ore truck's quite far north, I think, getting those gems. And we will go for the attack of Cyan, because you can see he's got some tanks up north, and he doesn't seem to have enough. I don't think he has enough, and you can see Green's coming in to help, and Cyan's going to have to retreat now, because this isn't going to be a good fight for him. You can see his tanks are getting ripped apart, and he's having to fall back. And while he's doing this, I am building some MCVs, and I am going to be expanding to the middle and getting that benefit of increased building speed. Now, there is a disadvantage to building MCVs like this, what I'm doing here now, and that's if it does decrease the tank numbers, because all this time I spent building MCVs, what I could be doing is I could be building more tanks. So I'm taking a little bit of a risk, but the fights have gone in my favour so far, so it's just given me a bit of leeway. And now I'm going to be building my tank force back up while expanding my economy. I'm just going to put a Tesla coil there just to give us a bit of defence and help us a little bit. And I'm going to also need to build ore refineries just to make sure I keep my economy up. And hopefully I'll even get into the situation where I can use 4 war factories, because that's very doable on a map like this. And I'm just keeping an eye. I've got my radar dome up so I can keep an eye on what Cyan's doing and also what Red's doing, because Red seems to have a few tanks now down at the bottom. And this puts me in a difficult position because there's 2 enemies here and it could come from either way. But you can see I think Cyan's making a move up to the right, my base on the right, and this could be trouble for me. So I'm going to have to bring my tanks up. Hopefully my allies are going to be able to help me a little bit in this. And I think Red's following me. So this is going to be hard because I'm going to be fighting on both sides. And you can see Cyan, despite having 2 less favourable battles, they still have decent tank numbers. But I've also got decent tank numbers with my heavy tanks. Unfortunately, I think Red are coming into the fight, and this is going to be trouble for me because I've got 2 opponents, and I probably don't have enough tanks to take on both of them. And even against Cyan, it's going to be a struggle because you can see Cyan does have a very good tank force. And you can see those Tesla coils being ripped apart by Red, because Tesla coils aren't that effective if they're on their own. It's when used in conjunction with tanks because they have so low HP. And you can see Red going for my power plants. He's trying to make me low on power. So I'm going to need to... Yeah, probably a bit of a mistake there, going for the Tesla coil. I should have just been going for the power. And you can see Red there going further into my base. So it might have been a little bit of a mistake to build those MCVs so early on, or I might have had to be a bit more aggressive. But you can see me losing 1 construction yard. It does also look like I'm probably going to lose another construction yard, almost certainly. And now you can see me just building power plants, just trying to keep those Tesla coils online because there's a couple of them. So they will be doing quite a bit of damage. And you can see there, Red with his heavy tanks. And it looks like I might lose that construction yard. Well, maybe or maybe not. Yeah, I think it's just survived. We'll have to see if Cyan comes in on the attack and destroys the rest of it. But this is looking a bit difficult for me. You can see Cyan now coming at the bottom of my base. So my tanks are a little bit out of position. And... yeah, you can just see my base has been decimated quite a bit. So this is going to be a tough battle to get back into. I do still have 3... Well, I currently have 3 construction yards, but I have a feeling one of those might be going quite soon. And yes, it looks like it's going to be. And Cyan has destroyed that construction yard, so now I've only got 2 left. I'm also building another war factory, because you can see, even though I'm a lot of my base has been absolutely destroyed, you can still see that my ore's really building up. But you can see Cyan with really good numbers, and this is looking quite troublesome for me. And you can see Green coming back, because I do really need Green's help at this point. And I have got 4 war factories out, because I'm going to need that sudden surge in tanks, because that ore in the bank's no good unless I've got tanks out on the field. And you can see Green with a lot of tanks now, and he's pushing Cyan back. So I've sort of survived, let's say, for the time being, but I am going to be in a whole world of trouble soon because my economy is probably going to go to pot. And you can see that, yeah, I'm going to need some help with both Red and Cyan. And you can see that Green army pushing back.
Unit ready. Building. Construction complete.
And I'm sort of expanding. Now what I'm doing is I'm just base crawling to the middle, so a bit of a... And I'm going to try and get those all there. And you can see that Cyan is going across the bottom. And I think he's going to go for an attack. I was thinking he might be going for an attack on Green's base, but it seems like he's stalled there. And he's lost quite a few tanks in that little engagement. And it still looks like he's going to go to Green's base. But I think Green's going to be fine with that. So I'll have to let Green just chase him because Red is coming as well. So I'll fight Red here while Green goes and protects his base. And you can see now I've got my tank numbers built up, but my economy is not looking sharp at all. And it looks like I'm in a bit of a difficult position at the current time. And I can also see on my mini-map that Green has managed to expand to the bottom left position of the map. So he has a bit more flexibility and he may be able to do some attacks from the other side of their bases. Because really, he could attack Red's base because Red will probably be starting, I think, was in the bottom middle position. And at this current time, we seem to have... Red's got the upper hand. He's definitely got the upper hand in tank numbers, and it looks bad here because we'll have to see if that's more tanks from Cyan. It's only one so far, and you can see I'm just trying to micro as much as possible, move my tanks about, and you can see slowly and surely I'm getting the upper tank number, and I'm going to defend, be able to defend at this point. But this is trouble for me because if Cyan go on an attack, I don't have much to defend with at all. And you can see that Red are coming in with more and more tanks. And this is troublesome for me at this current time. So I'm going to probably need to pull back a little bit. The only thing is I've got all my economy here, and you can see Red is going to go for the ore trucks. What this gives me a chance to do though is it gives me a chance to whittle down some of those tank numbers and be on more even terms. So using that as I can, and now I've got a Tesla coil out, which is going to help me a bit more. And even though it's going to get destroyed, it's giving me a chance to even up the tank numbers. And you can see that Red doesn't look like Red has enough right at this current time. We'll have to see if more reinforcements are coming in, but I can't see any more reinforcements on the mini-map. So this just gives me an opportunity to build this economy in the centre of the map and just to build up my tank numbers and get on good terms as well. Because you can see that Green are having a fight with Cyan at the other side of the map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this opportunity to do an attack on Cyan. But as soon as I go to attack Cyan, we see some Red tanks. Now the good thing is the Red tanks have come over to where my tanks are. What I was worried about there was them going around the middle of the map and attacking my base while my tanks were outside. And as you can see, the fights are sort of pretty even at the current time. And hopefully, with my economy being built back up, I'll be able to get on more even terms. And you can see me just regrouping now and going for an attack on the other side. Because you can see Red does have ore trucks there, but I might be in a bit of trouble because we can see that Cyan is also grouping up his tanks. And it could be, again, a sort of 2v1 situation here. So I do have to be very, very careful.
Construction complete. Unit ready.
And yeah, I'm just going to go for another Tesla coil. You can see those ore trucks now going up further up the map, trying to get ore from the higher position because they've probably used up all the ore from near the base. And I'm just trying to cement this strong position here. But you can see that Red and Cyan are working together, and it doesn't look like I might not be able to hold it for too long. So I'm going to need to just reinforce this position. You can see now Cyan going on the attack, and this is a hard situation for me, and I'm going to have to sort of move some of these ore trucks so they're mining off the left side of the map, because this isn't looking good for me at all, and I do really need some support. You can see I've got those Tesla coils which I'll be able to fire and give me a bit of defence. You can see there's Cyan waiting behind the rock, but you can see he's going for the Tesla coils straight away. And one's down, second one's down, and I'm in a bit of trouble. Trouble because he's probably got the better tank numbers, and now he's going for the ore refineries. Now that's fine, because you can see how many ore refineries I've got. If he takes one ore refinery out, my ore trucks just go to another ore refinery. So that was probably a bit of a mistake. You can see we've got even tank numbers, and you can see Cyan, is on the retreat. Some of his tanks, well, he's got about 3 of those tanks on red, a couple of those tanks on yellow. I'm just taking out those red tanks just to whittle down his numbers. But you can see Red coming for the attack as well. And he's got a decent tank numbers. And now they're working together, and it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to hold this. I really do need some support. I'm just calling out to my teammate because he does need to hopefully give me some help because there are 2 teams here against just me on my own. And you can see he does have the tank numbers, so hopefully he will come in soon. And now we're fighting Red, and I think Red is going for my economy, and Cyan seems to be holding back for the time being. So we're able to kill some of these red tanks and just reduce the numbers. But you can see there they're getting a kill on some of my ore trucks. I'm also getting a Tesla coil down there so it can provide a little bit of protection. And I'm just glad that Cyan and now you can see that Green are coming in for the attack on Red. And I can see those ore trucks coming up to the top of the map. And this is where map control becomes really, really important. And you can see Cyan coming for an attack on my base. And we'll have to see how this goes. I've got another Tesla coil up. Oh, my tank numbers are starting to build up a little bit again. So we'll see how this turns out. But it's looking quite decent. I'm getting some good kills. My tank numbers seem to be sort of stable at the moment. He might have a couple more tanks, but he is using medium tanks. I am using heavy tanks, and I am getting that Tesla defense in there. And that just makes that bit of difference. And he's having to fall back at the current time. And it's sort of looking pretty good for us, because what's happening is they're running out of ore at their part of the map. So as long as we can keep hold of the left side of the map and the top part of the map, we should be good. And I'm just going to keep on reinforcing this position, building more Tesla coils, and keep on reinforcing my troops and getting more troops into the battle. And you can see it looks like I've been able to pull back. I do have 2 construction yards as well, so that's been helping me with my speed. And now we're going to go for the attack on the ore trucks. We'll have to see how Cyan responds, and they respond by attacking my base, which is probably the right thing to do. And you can see there's also a crate there, but I'm not too worried about that at this stage of the game. And they're going for the Tesla coils. There's another Tesla coil firing on them as well. And this isn't looking good for Cyan at all, because while they attack buildings, I'm able to take them out. And they've also got like odd Tesla coils placed here and there, and that's going to cause them a little bit of damage. And we'll have to see how this is going, but it's looking good. And those tanks are on low HP. And he's still going for the ore refineries, which, as I say, I think that's a bit of a mistake, because I do have other ore refineries which are absolutely fine, and they're going to be able to, my ore trucks are going to be able to go to them instead. And now we're having a look at the right side of the map, but from what I can see, they haven't got much left, and I think it's just going to be a case of eliminating the bases. You can see they just have nothing to defend with, and also Red's out of the game. I've just noticed that actually, but oh no, he said good game. And now we're going for the attack on Cyan's base, and Cyan is selling up, and that is mission accomplished. So that's how important map control is, because we did have control of the left side thanks to my teammate. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video.